This is not rain. This is stone falling. This is not rain. This is not rain falling. And what you're hearing is not thunder. Why?
Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Thought I'd do a quick video to let you all know what's going on with the volcano that's been erupting in St. Vincent. It's been erupting for a few days now, and the latest that I've heard is that the latest eruption threw ashes up to 55,000 feet into the atmosphere. Which, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that I think about when I hear that a volcano is throwing ashes that high into the atmosphere is that all of the ash that gets stuck up there and doesn't come down immediately can cause our weather to change. In other words, it can cause for weather to get cooler. And one of the things that I've read about in reference to the grand solar minimum is that since our magnetosphere, which is the outer layer of our atmosphere, is thinner and it lets in more cosmic rays, that there are more volcanic eruptions during grand solar minimums. And this could have bad implications on our weather, because if too much ash gets stuck up in the atmosphere, it will definitely increase the chances of our weather becoming cooler over time. So let's go ahead and read this really quick. It's not a very long article. It says here, St. Vincent volcano eruption. Residents are urged to evacuate immediately. And it says that fears increase for those refusing to leave homes as the volcano eruptions continue for the fourth day. Man, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? That is a very tough decision to leave your home. But I mean, look at this. Look at this thing. If you live near this thing and you saw this thing take off like that, man, you would not have a choice but to leave. 3 days after the volcano began to erupt on St. Vincent, the eastern Caribbean island remains under a shower of ash and subject to severe water restrictions as authorities grow increasingly concerned for the safety of those who refuse to evacuate. The volcano, which last erupted in 1979, has been firing an enormous amount of ash and hot gas into the air since Friday morning. In the early hours of Monday, the largest explosion of the current eruption sent pyroclastic flows down the volcano's south and southwest flanks. It's destroying everything in its path. Anybody who has not heeded the evacuation needs to get out immediately. There are no immediate reports of injuries or death, but government officials were scrambling to respond to the latest eruption. Approximately 16,000 people who live in communities close to the volcano have been evacuated under government orders on Thursday, but an unknown number have refused to move. And I just want you to look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is scary. Just imagine if you lived in this close proximity to this volcano and you saw that. First of all this ash right here that you see is going to be falling down on buildings. Now, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but back in 1991, during the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, I was in the Navy. For those of you that don't know, I did retire from the Army. However, I had a short 4-year stint in the Navy when I was in my late teens to early 20s. This ash, ladies and gentlemen, if you think that snow is heavy, this ash is extremely heavy. And unless it is immediately cleared off of the roofs of these buildings, a lot of these buildings are going to end up caving in. Richard Robertson from the Seismic Research Center told the local NBC radio that the volcano's old and new dome had been destroyed and a new crater had been created. He said that the pyroclastic flows would have razed everything in their path. Anything that was there, man, animal, anything, they're all gone. Joseph said the latest explosion was on a par with one that occurred back in 1902, which killed about 1,600 people. The National Emergency Management Office of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has warned people to expect similar, if not greater, explosions and accompanying ash falls over the next few days. The volcanic activity has threatened water and food supplies, with the government forced to drill for fresh water and distribute it via trucks. Wow, so they're actually having to drill fresh water wells. At least that's how I interpreted that. Wow. Garth Saunders, minister for the island's Water and Sewer Authority, said it was impossible to protect existing water sources from the ash. The Prime Minister said government officials were meeting on Monday afternoon to talk about difficulties with food supplies. Cots, tents, water tanks, and other basic supplies have been flooding into St. Vincent as nearby countries rush to help those affected by the eruptions. I guess that's good news, ladies and gentlemen, that nearby countries are all pitching in and helping out. However, I can't help but to wonder, ladies and gentlemen, if these people that live there were just prepared minimally, if they had some extra water put away, if they had some extra food put away, and of course, if they didn't live right next to the volcano, but if they were far enough to where the only threat to them was the ash falling down, and they had water and food put away, they would have a much easier time. All they would have to do is expend their energies in making sure that the roofs on the community's homes and buildings were cleared off ash. But now, not do they only have to worry about that, but they have to worry about where they're going to get water and food. At least 4 empty cruise ships were waiting nearby to take evacuees to other islands that have agreed to temporarily receive them. The health crisis has complicated response efforts. At least 14 new cases have been reported since the eruption began on Friday, and all those going to shelters are being tested. Those who test positive are taken to isolation centers. More than 3,700 people are being housed in 84 government shelters. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll go ahead and leave the link to this article under the description of this video, but I just want to go ahead and reiterate that it doesn't matter where you live. You could live in paradise, and you should still have a minimal preparedness plan. I want to go ahead and show you some pictures of what it looks like before and after the eruptions. That way you can see what ash can really do. Now look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it looked like before and after. And that's just ash. We need to be prepared in the times that we live in, ladies and gentlemen, more than ever. And like I said, I do know that the Alaska Prepper community is blessed to have people from all over the world. If you are one of these people that thinks that you live in a location where nothing can happen, please think again, because anything can happen at any time. Have a minimal plan for preparedness, at the very least, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and leave it at that. I mean, my thoughts and my prayers go out to the people that are being affected by this. I just truly hope that there are no fatalities. So far, none have been reported. And I hope that those people that are refusing to evacuate will get out of there in a hurry. And again, like I said, these are some of the things that we have to look out for as preppers. And why do I say as preppers? Because we as preppers look at what's going on in other parts of the world and see how it could maybe affect us. How could this maybe affect us, ladies and gentlemen? As I stated during the beginning of the video, when this ash makes it to the atmosphere, if it gets high enough, it'll be suspended there for a long time. And that suspension of ash in the atmosphere is going to redirect sunlight and energy from the sun back outside into space. And what will that do? That will decrease the temperature of our world. Maybe by only 1 or 2 degrees, but that's plenty in order for us to have worse yielding harvests and even crop failures. If you haven't looked up the year without a summer, go ahead and take a look at that. Look up the year without a summer. I did a video on that a while back, but look it up for yourselves and do your own research and see exactly what can happen. It's not good. Having said that, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you're all having a good day today. For tomorrow, remember my Patreons. We're going to have a live stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. Alaska time, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Patreons and ladies and gentlemen's club members. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and put up a video reviewing the Monstar M300 solar generator, and there is a giveaway included in that video. Unfortunately, it's only for people that live in Fairbanks because I will actually have to deliver the package myself. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to every one of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I am out.